What's going on, YouTube? Back here on the Challenger build. Finally got the cylinder heads back. So now I can start putting the motor back together. Ended up spinning a little more than I wanted to at the machine shop, but they found some things that were wrong with it and had to do it, but still cheaper than buying a new set of heads, so what do you do? Wrap these back up. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I'm in the Army, and our unit's going to Japan here in about a month and a half. Well, I just got told a few days ago that I'm going to be on the ship detail for all of our trucks going over there, and I leave a month earlier than everyone else. So this Challenger has to be running in about 18 days. That's what I got. And so far, this is the list. I painted the other side of the car, fuel system's hooked up, clean and paint the trans cross member, got the cross member painted over there. So probably gonna go ahead and mount the transmission up, get this thing off the jacks, get it back on the ground, put the drive shaft back in, and then might go ahead and tackle the heater core because it was leaking. I think that's what we're gonna do for this video. But yeah, 18 days and this thing has to be running. Wish me luck. What's up, YouTube? Back here, we're gonna go ahead and get this old engine, get some parts off it that I need, like this timing cover. I think there's a couple other pieces. Might just tear off the intake as well, just to see what she looked like. But yeah, we're gonna be putting that Magnum together over there once the bearings come in tomorrow, but you get these parts off and get them cleaned up, get them ready to put on. So let's get after it. Got the timing cover off, and I have no clue how this thing even ran. That is a lot of slop. Oh, that's what the inside of the timing cover looked like too. Pretty nasty. Now this car said it had 99,000 miles on the odometer, and I believe it. This looks like a 99,000 mile old worn out 318. You still need to get these motor mount brackets off of there, and there's a few more miscellaneous stuff. And then we'll get to the Magnum over there. Well, I forgot that I needed the oil pickup out of here. Went and took it off, took the pan off, and look at all this. They did not like to change their oil. And I took the oil pump off too and took it apart. She has seen better days. And this pickup's not gonna work because all in here just packed with sludge. So another part I'm gonna have to find. Well, it's a big day. My bearings finally came, thankfully. So we're gonna go ahead and start slapping this thing back together. Already got my pistons, rings assembled, rings are file fitted. I do still have to hone it though. So I'm gonna hone it and then start throwing it all back together. Oh, and don't forget about your freeze plugs here. You just want to knock them in until they're flush, and then you're good. But let's get after it. Alrighty, got some bearings in, and also checked some clearances with some plastic gauge. Clearances look pretty good. They're all about there's about 3 thou there, about 3 thou, 2.8 to 3 thou. All of them, just pretty good. Show you guys another little oil mod you can do on just about any engine. Here's your thrust bearing. You see where it's bronze right there? So you can take a file it down a little bit until you start seeing the bronze. And you do that to the top and the bottom cap. And what that does is you only do it towards the back side of the engine though, not towards the front. This little opening will pressure feed oil and basically give it a coating of oil, or like a protection of oil, I guess, against the thrust. Say you got a manual car and you're pushing the clutch in. Well, the crank goes forward when you push the clutch in. So that'll help protect your thrust bearing and whatnot. So I'm gonna throw some assembly lube on these bearings. Almost forgot to show you guys a couple more oil mods. I think this will be the last oil mods that I got for you. Well, you take your 1/2-inch bit again. This is on your rear cap. So this is the hole for your oil pump. And so basically you need to make sure that this is at least a 1/2-inch, which mine being a Magnum, it is. And if you flip it around to the other side, if yours is not to a 1/2-inch, you need to drill it out. But you see how it, oh shit. So you see how it goes into that angle there? And it comes out, it's hard to do one-handed, it comes out right there. Make sure you do not drill through that, the wall there. Not have a good time. And then for your oil pump here, now these usually come real rough casting from the factory. And you see how small that hole is. Well, you can take your 1/2-inch bit, and yeah, you'll have to lay it down like that a little bit, and it'll eat into here just as long as it doesn't get to this hole. But you can take that and drill it out, and you'll end up right back in there. Obviously, make sure you don't go all the way through and drill through your pump. But yeah, just clean it out real good and be ready to rock and roll. Skipped ahead a little bit, and we have a short block. Super pumped about that. So now next, clean up this mess. Jesus, it's horrible. Don't judge me, all right? It's the first time doing this. But I think we're gonna throw a couple heads up there and the cam and get my degree kit ready. Start to degree this cam in. All right, it's the next day. Late last night, got the cam degreed in with the help from my dad. Appreciate it, Dad, for having the patience to stay on the phone with me and whatnot, teaching me through it. And then I had a facepalm moment. I was got my nice Kinetic gasket here and went to open it, and I only ordered one. Oh, I was so angry last night. So I'm not going to be able to run the thickness that I was wanting, the 27 thou. So it's just getting some stock replacement. Fel Pro, I think they're like a 48 thou compressed thickness. But what do you do? Yeah, so I ordered those this morning, and then they'll be here tomorrow. So for now, I've got the cam degreed in. I'm gonna go ahead and put these heads back together. I took these off and put some checker springs on, checked valve to piston, and everything was good. Oh, these are the springs that I'm running. These pack springs. That's the number on them. These are actually like a stock replacement for a V10 Viper. And they're stronger than the Magnum springs. And what we did to run the stock retainers, so these are a beehive or a conical, whichever word is right. So you take them, take the small end. The small end would fit. Well, it wouldn't fit. I had to have this step here. There used to be a step there. Had it machined down. And then you can basically just drop the small end right there. And then your retainers fit perfect right there on the big end. And yeah. Also got these new rocker studs and stuff, but I'll show you guys that later. I think we're going to go ahead and get the timing cover on. Just put the heads on there, and I think we're actually going to paint it tonight, just so that way that's one less thing to do tomorrow. All right, I want to show you one thing about these cams. So this is the stock cam out of that Magnum. You see the snout there? See how it's short? Well, This is the one for the LA style. And you can see, maybe you can. It's longer than this, see? I read online about the long snout and the short snout and all that stuff. I never really put two and two together until I look at them side by side. The cam that I got is actually for a LA motor. With that being said, you could still run a fuel pump because you can run your eccentric here. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing that because it's a Holley EFI. So that's just one little tip there for you guys. Oh, yeah, and the engine's painted too. Yeah. Okay, here's a little tip for these oil pans and oil pan gaskets. So when you go to a LA style timing cover, if you want to keep this one piece gasket, well, you won't be able to keep a one piece gasket. It just won't work because this is what I cut out of here. And this U is bigger for the Magnum timing cover. So in my, I had to get a timing cover gasket kit anyways, so this should come with it. Basically, I'll try and put that up there. Well, yeah, so it's just a little bit longer and it won't let the oil pan sit down all the way. So I got this information from magnumswap.com, and if you guys are looking into doing a Magnum swap, definitely read through that site because they have a ton of good information. But they said to just cut that U out. I just cut it flush right there. You cut that U out, and then you take your piece here, and I fit it in the pan already, and I trimmed. You can see there, I trimmed just a little bit off. It used to have like little legs that come out there. I trimmed them off, and when I put it on there, it fits just about right, perfect in there. So basically, you just have to throw some silicone in there, and you should be good to go. For those of you who know me, watching this video, you know that I hate spiders. And literally, after I shot that clip, giant spider just came crawling across here. I grabbed the can of brake clean, started dousing it down. You see the big puddle there. What's it do? Gets back up and starts moving again. So I stomped that thing. Oh my God. Freaking out. Okay, day 3 and hopefully the final day of this engine build. I got the head gaskets. Those just stock replacement ones, 48 thou compressed thickness. My dad did the math for me, and this will drop me down. If I had the Cometic ones, I was going to be at like a 9.3 to 1 compression. But with these, I'll be at like a 9.1. You can see these have a bigger, see that gap right there? They have a lot bigger bore gap or diameter or whatever that word is than these ones. I ordered these for a 4040 bore, and you can see there's barely a gap in there, therefore creating less less space, I guess, compared to this one, therefore higher compression. I think we're gonna go ahead and get the deck cleaned up real good, slap the lifters in, and throw the heads on. Go ahead and prime the oil system. We'll almost be ready to throw this thing in. Rockers on. Had the preload set on them. Now we're gonna go ahead and prime the oil system. You can pick up one of these priming hex deals. I don't know what they're called. Off of like Jags for like 12 bucks. And basically I put one valve cover on and basically put this head towards upright. Oh my God, there's a moth in here. Get out of there. You don't want moths in your motor. Then you're basically take your drill and they spin in a clockwise direction. And you're obviously put oil in the pan. Oh my God. Okay, as y'all just saw, make sure to put this on or else you're gonna have a fountain of oil coming out. So yeah, you just keep going. You're waiting for oil to get up to these push rods. You can see it's starting to come on some of them. Starting to come.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
Another leak.
Hey, I wasn't gonna say.
All right, we got
nothing.
another leak. So another thing, here,
shit.
come over here. Show them this. While you're priming it, you know, you find leaks. Obviously I'm leaking around here, so I gotta reseal that. But, you know, it's better to find it out here than to find it in the car, and you have to struggle with that. So go ahead and fix that and keep priming, and then I think I'll get you guys back on here when I have it all put back together. All right, after the incidents of oil leaking everywhere last night, I had to reseal this with silicone. It was leaking around the base there. Let it cure overnight and started priming today. No leaks out of there, so that's good. I got oil up to all of these rockers. So I'm gonna let the batteries charge up on the drill. I'm gonna rotate the motor over that way. So this valve cover is facing up. Throw on this valve cover for good. And then do the same thing to the other side. One thing with these Magnum heads, you can run the LA style valve cover and valve cover gaskets. You just obviously won't be using all 10 of the bolts. You'll only be using the 5 right there. Now I would have preferred to use the Magnum style just because they have 10 bolts to hold everything down, and they have reusable gaskets, which is very nice. But I was going to use the stock ones, but they were just filled with a bunch of crud buildup and stuff, and it's just easier to buy new ones, and they look nice. So, yeah, so I'm going to get this primed up and do a little other odd and end stuff, and she'll be about ready to throw in. Okay, guys, here's a problem when you run this Edelbrock intake on a LA timing cover. This water pump bypass hose gets a little hairy. So what I did was I cut off about 2 inches on that end and took one of these checker springs I had and just shoved it up in there. I figured you might as well be able to, because they do the same thing for radiator hoses to stop them from collapsing, so that should be fine, but I'm just going to keep an eye on it just in case. And then this is what I'm running for. Running the 1.6 roller rocker arms, comp cams. Here's the number on them. And then my push rods, right here. And then here's my cam card, so you guys just see it one more time. But yeah, I'm gonna keep, oh, I did have a problem with this oil dipstick. I ended up having to bend it and stuff, and I didn't quite get it to go down all the way, but it's super tight in there, so it should seal fine. But